Hey guys, welcome back to Leave Corporate. I actually wanted to share a little story that I had an experience with the other day. As you recall, I was hiring people to, be able to help me with the pizza business. So I did conduct some interviews. That in itself was very interesting. Had one guy, when I asked, tell me a little bit about yourself. First thing he said to me was, well, I a little moody, which I thought was hilarious. Then he went on to explain why he was moody instead of kind of giving me a background of his experience in culinary. Go figure. I guess he's young. I guess he'll learn. So I narrowed it down to two people. So I had called them and asked them for their references, of course. And I actually call references. I don't just ask for references just for asking sake. I actually call them. So one girl, she had experience with culinary, and the other one didn't have any experience. She was actually a student in law school, and she just wanted something to do on the weekend, which is fine by me. As far as I'm concerned, you don't have to be an expert. You can learn anything. I've done that myself. You just have to have a willingness to learn. So I'm actually fine with that. I call the references. Um, the one the one who was a lawyer, her reference took a while. I didn't get through with them at first. They actually called me back, right? So, so one of them was an attorney, was her reference, one of them. So he ended up calling back. So I explained that it was about the reference and whatnot. So I just said, can you just give me a little bit of feedback, and he basically was like, well, yes, I'm an attorney at law, and she presents herself well. So I said, okay, thank you. Can you just kind of expand on that? Did she work with you? How do you guys know each other? And he just said, well, she presents herself well. So, I'm trying to prod a little bit. So I asked, he said, well, she goes to Hugh Whitting and, whatnot. So I said, yes, I understand she goes to school. So was she an apprentice of yours? And what was the situation? And again, he was just like, she presents herself well. So, I'm still trying to kind of prod a little bit to get a little more information, something about the reference. So then he said, well, I see, well, if you notice, I'm being a little cagey because I don't know you. So I said, okay, well, my name is such and such, and I have this business. Yes, I understand all that. That's what he's saying, right? I understand all that. But if I'm saying to you that I'm a lawyer and she presents herself well, I think that should be enough. So, of course, I'm kind of like, no, that's not enough. So I actually said to him, I'm sorry, I don't agree with that at all. Because as far as I'm concerned, if somebody's a reference, I didn't say that part, but I'm saying I'm just saying as far as I'm concerned, if somebody is a reference, you should be able to speak and advocate on their behalf. That's why they put you as a recommendation. So he proceeded to say, well, it's not like I know her inside and out. I'm not sleeping with her. And I'm just like, whoa, what, what kind of response is that? So at that point in my head, I'm just like, well, this conversation is over. So I mean, I let him continue to rant and rave because then he was like, even if I were a husband, I wouldn't know her inside and out. You don't know your spouse inside. I'm like, okay, I don't know where all this is coming from. I mean, it's just basic questions. I'm sure this is not the first time he's been asked to be a reference for someone. Is that all you can think of to say? I mean, do you really want to represent somebody in that manner that you're gonna jump to? I haven't slept with her. How did you even reach there? I mean, it's such a turn off, such a turn off. Honestly, I'd have been more satisfied with a street vendor who actually kind of told me something about the person. Said, well, like they're punctual, they're independent workers, they work very well, they're meticulous, something. You can find anything to say on her behalf. I mean, honestly, if somebody is asking you to be a reference, it's because they have a level of respect for you and they believe that you would advocate well on their behalf. And if it is that you cannot advocate on their behalf, you can't even answer basic questions on their behalf, then just say, sorry, I can't be a reference for you. What is the point in saying, agreeing to be a reference to somebody and to represent them like that? I mean, honestly, come on. So I had already made my decision prior to that, because I had asked for the other girl's reference as well, and her reference was actually pretty good, even though her reference was kind of talking about herself, like how this guy was talking about himself, because he made it all about him and not about his actual reference. she still told me something about the girl. She still said, well, she's punctual, she has a love for the craft, she does this, she does that. At least she told me something about the person and then make it all about her. She did a little bit, but not all about her as this guy did. He's saying, by virtue of what I do and who I am, that should be enough. And that is just ridiculous. No, that is not enough. You need to advocate on the person's behalf, and you need to, say something. If you're going to be a reference to somebody, say something that, would be applicable to what the job is, or applicable to the fact that you're a reference to somebody. And I just think it was kind of unfortunate. So I had actually reached out to her and I said, I decided to go with someone else, blah, blah. And I just said, I just wanted to keep it very surface level. I just said, I suggest you don't have this person as a reference anymore. I think if you have somebody as a reference, it should be an advocate on your behalf. And in my opinion, this person did not do that. And I just left it at that. I didn't go into what he said. I didn't say anything else like that. I just said, you know what? Get somebody who's going to be an advocate for you. And I just left it as that. And she said, thank you. And that was it. So I really hope she changes that reference, because that is absolutely ridiculous. I would hope that, you'll be a little more humble. No matter how far you reach, you should always be humble. I have a million degrees, and I'm still not going to act like that. I've been a reference to somebody when I had no degrees, and when I've had degrees, and I've always known how to represent myself and advocate for the person. If I can't do that, I'm not going to be a reference. Simple as that. So I just thought I would share that with you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Have you had that experience with people thinking that, as far as I'm concerned, I should stand by myself. I should stand for, by virtue of who I am and what I do. That's all you need and nothing else. I don't need to be accountable. I don't need to be humble. I don't need to be anything else. And tell me what your thoughts are on it, because I think that is such a turn off to me, and it's completely ridiculous. I don't care what your profession is. You still have to be humble, and you still have to be respectable, because honestly, that was not a respectable thing that he said. It was a complete turn off. And I would love to hear your thoughts on it if you had experience with people like that. And it can happen to any one of us. We just focus on the title, and think that's all that we need. But honestly, we need more than that. You need more than that than just a title. Because at the end of the day, a title could be taken from you like that in a lightning second. So people won't remember who you are as a person. Thought I'd share that. So I'd love to hear feedback on it. So until next time, bye.